to seeing massive, multinational corporations slapping their logos onto global social causes. It's kind of everywhere, right? On our TVs, all over our social feeds, on giant billboards. But every single movement, every shift in how businesses actually interact with social causes, well, it has to start somewhere. A genesis. Someone has to literally be the first to step up to the plate. So before we really get into the details, I want you to just ponder that question for a second. Who do you think broke that barrier in the auto industry? Keep your guesses in mind, because the actual answer and the super grassroots way it all went down is a genuinely fascinating piece of media history.
Welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to be guiding you through today's topic. We're going to uncover a truly pioneering moment in media and automotive history. It's all centered around something called Autoscape. We're breaking down the who, the what, the when, and the exactly how of this totally unlikely broadcast that kind of changed the whole game. By looking closely at the historical sources, we're going to see how local, community-level actions sometimes carry the absolute monumental weight of global milestones. So let's dive right in and see how this all unfolded.
Okay, let's dive into this with Section 1, the 1995 Pride premiere, setting the historical stage.
1995. Just let that year sink in for a second. We aren't talking about the 2010s or 2020s, where visible corporate support for various social causes is just a highly standardized chunk of basic PR. No, we're turning the clock all the way back to the mid-90s. This unprecedented automotive sponsorship is planted firmly right in the middle of that decade, which really goes to show that the roots of this kind of corporate backing actually stretch way farther back than many of us might initially assume.
And this didn't just happen on some random Tuesday either. This event was actually the culmination of a release that took place directly at the 1995 Pride Parade. The sources explicitly linked the premiere of this project to that highly visible, very public gathering. Basically, the Pride Parade served as the ultimate backdrop and the intentional launching pad for this exact moment. It wasn't just some quiet press release mailed out to reporters. The premiere was completely intertwined with the energy and the setting of the parade itself.
Moving right along to Section 2, Autoscape, 30 minutes of cable, the broadcast medium.
So, Autoscape wasn't some slick, multi-million-dollar Super Bowl commercial. It definitely wasn't a nationwide network TV series hitting hundreds of millions of homes all at once. It was actually a local cable access program. Think about that really scrappy, low-budget, ground-up community TV of the 90s. The kind of stuff you'd stumble upon at 2 a.m., where literally anyone with a camera and an idea could just get on the air. It was a highly localized, deeply community-driven medium. And that tells us that this pioneering moment in auto history didn't start from the top down in some fancy corporate boardroom. It started right from the ground up, in local community TV studios.
30 minutes. That is literally all it was, just a brief half-hour window of local cable access television. But as the record shows us, those 30 minutes made absolute history. It's honestly a brilliant reminder that you don't necessarily need a 24-hour news cycle or, an endless streaming series to leave a lasting mark. A single, super-focused, scrappy 30-minute block of programming was all it took to secure a first in the entire automotive industry.
Let's move to and see how this builds in Section 3, the first automotive allies, local dealerships making history.
So who were the sponsors? Melrose Ford of Oakland and San Leandro Chrysler Plymouth.